What's going on, guys? Bladezilla here, and today we're taking a look at this newer model from CKF, or I guess their sister company, Echo Knives. So it's kind of their budget line. Everything I've seen has been in G10, unless that's changing, I don't know. But I figured I'd show this guy off. So this is the CKF Echo Splinter front flipper with orange, I guess, Damascus or Damascus, G10 black, and I believe it's a CPM S35 VN blade, which probably it would be in front of that oil that's sitting right there, that factory oil. Is it there? Yeah, it is. And I think I even saw that it's serial 105. That's cool, unless that's a date code or something. But that's what we're going to be talking about today. So it's going to be a shorter, sweeter video, but feel free to grab a coffee, grab a beer, whiskey, or whatever you gotta grab. I'm having a Coke Zero because it's fairly early in the day. As a reminder, guys, visit my website bladezilla.ca, where a lot of the knives featured on this YouTube channel are available for purchase. Just added a bunch of these annexes that are on sale for Microtech. Got a super cool Bio Dark, a tactile knife Archer, lots of stuff, and then the normal CKFs, Shirogorofs, etc. But Bladezilla.ca, we're in Canada, and ready to ship both to Canada as well as the US. So pretty simple. If there is someone that's interested in something outside of Canada, US, North America, just send me an email and we'll sort something out, as long as it's legal. But anyway, let's get into this bad boy. I've had a couple of the knives from CKF, from Echo, come through. I think the Troll, was there one that was like or something? UMN, or I can't recall, but I've had a few of them. Really well done, especially at the price point. I think these are like 160 bucks US, so I'll probably have these, in Canada, probably in the high twos range, likely. And really well made. They come with that really nice CKF pouch as well, and I'm gonna grab one here just to show you what these guys look like, what they kind of come with. So they come with this CKF pouch. Really awesome, even just for transporting other things, but really well made. It's the same pouch that all the CKF knives come with, and I personally think a lot more knives should come with this kind of stuff, as well as like a cleaning cloth, which is awesome. So no COAs in these, and I've actually noticed a few of the CKFs. A couple of the tractors came through without COAs, so I don't know if that's something they're doing on their just lower volume stuff now, or what the deal is there, but I always thought they had them, but that could be changing. So no COAs on these, although they are numbered apparently, which is cool. It is a front flipper, and let's get some measurements on this before I completely lose my marbles and begin going off track, which is usually throughout my videos. Pretty standard, because it is a non-technical video. Yeah, we're coming in at 8 1/4, maybe even less, 8 1/8 overall length. Blade length of 3 1/2 sharpened. So that's the premium EDC sweet spot, 3 1/2. And handle of 4 1/2 inches. I'm doing this without a spec sheet, so I'm just guessing that's kind of what it would be. It could be plus minus, an 1/8 or a 1/16, something like that. Let's kind of get going. I think we'll get a weight on this. I thought this was around 3 ounces, maybe 3 1/2, which would be the sweet spot, right? So let's get that. Also looks pretty sick too, the colors. Zero that. 90 grams, 91 grams, or 3.2, is that right? 3.2 ounces. So that's pretty sweet. It's a good weight, right? It's, to me it's in the Benchmade bug out territory in terms of weight and kind of just overall build quality. Maybe, obviously it's CKF, so it's, I'd say, a little bit higher than Benchmade. I actually don't know. You know what? It's got to be on bearings of some kind. It's just too darn smooth, so I'm assuming it's on bearings, and you can kind of see the gaps inside here would indicate that it would not be on washers. We do have kind of a liner lock construction, which looks great. It's definitely rough. It's not beveled in any way, but it is kind of a little grippy. Has a nice color to the whole kind of G10 side of things. It's a great looking knife, honestly. And once again, you're getting a CKF. I believe these guys are assembled in Russia with internationally sourced parts. That's kind of the CKF shtick. In that sub $300 range Canadian, or I think 160, 165 US, which is, that's Benchmade territory typically. Actually, you know what? Benchmade territory is starting to kind of creep up a little higher than that, which is scary. Same with Spyderco, which, you're getting made in the US on both brands, but, that's crazy to think. Like, I remember back in the day, like something like even this guy here, here's a Para 2. These are now north of, well, this one's I think closer to $300 Canadian, but S110V, G10, and you can see I use it obviously to open a lot of boxes, which is just cool. Super cool knife, but I always try to have a few of them floating around just to kind of open boxes and whatnot, and CPM at 110, you want to try it out, right? See what the deal is. Try out MagnaCut, try out S90V, try out whatever the steel of the week seems to be. Tried and true. S35 VN. I know a lot of the Chris Reeves stuff was doing S35 for a while, and then they moved to 45, and then basically now onto MagnaCut. Just seems like everyone else is kind of going that route. And MagnaCut is still a premium steel, very expensive steel to kind of do. So I guess with a knife like this, while you're getting that black blade, you're getting the front flipper design. It would be kind of cool if it had a little flipper tab hiding in here to kind of do both front and front flipper, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. Perfectly centered. And something else cool is it has a backspacer and a lanyard hole. So, it's got a couple of features that a couple of the bigger brands don't really get too into. The backspacer specifically is usually an add-on, to a Shirogorov as well. You pay more, or you'll have to go to a higher-end production knife to get the backspacer put on it. The lanyard hole, once again, I love it because from the side profile, you don't have a hole in the side of the knife. Even that Para 2, I think, has a hole in the back. Yeah, right in the back there. So that's kind of funky. But, it's kind of built into that backspacer, which just looks cool. And once again, I'm just talking about the knife. I'm not trying to sell you the knife. I'm just talking about the features, things that are good, things that are bad, things that can be improved on, etc. It's a casual conversation. We're not getting too into things here. But I guess on that note of things that I change, well, look at that pocket clip. Super basic. Easy on, easy off. Accessible as well from all angles. So if you wanted to change it out or just take it off completely, totally up to you. It is externally attached, so you're not going to have to take it apart and to get that off. But it is just a basic wire clip, so nothing too crazy there. Which some purists love because, easy on, easy off. Others will say, hey, you know what? I kind of wish it was a little more involved or had something a little more burly. But once again, at the CKF level, that is totally acceptable at this price point. And if I recall the other the Echo knives that I've gone and done reviews on, or just done a quick discussion about, I think they had that same clip on there. So clearly it's a price sensitive value add type thing. As for the hardware, we got Torx throughout. I believe these are T6s. They look pretty small, and probably a T10 on the pivot, which is once again acceptable. It's blank on the front here as well, which is kind of a nice little touch. Above that, we've got the Echo Knives logo, which is growing on me, and that will be absolutely the Instagram area that we'll be taking photos of. I think this, what did I call it? G-Mascus G10, so kind of layered G10. I think it looks super, super sick. It's done really, really well, and that logo is a nice little emphasis on that. Then we've got some more Torx on the handle there, if you decide that you want to take this guy apart. Pretty simple. I believe it is fairly skeletonized inside. It is, yes. I thought I saw some resemblance of some milled pockets on the inside. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, some material has been taken out to lighten it up to get it to that 3.2 ounces, I think I said earlier. So it is pretty skeletonized. Let's see if we got a gap in the backspacer. Nope. Very nice. Very nicely done. Once again, good value, right? Like if you take a design like this and, you know, a front flipper like a CKF Gnome, you know, you're into that thing, geez, $1,000 Canadian, no questions. Whereas, you know, if you want to experience a front flipper for a good value and get some, you know, a good user out of it, then, you know, this is a good option for that, honestly. And not everyone's going to have it, too. That's the other beauty. And then you get the black blade. I don't know if that's a DLC or what the coating is on there. I'm not too sure. But I'm assuming it's just kind of like a PVD. But really nicely done. Well, I guess I didn't really notice it. It's kind of got some milled. There's like a trapezoid here as well. It's kind of countersunk in, which I guess would be good to find a lip if you're grabbing it. Your fingers can kind of fall into that a little bit, which is nice. And then on the back, we have the same kind of thing, that milled pocket underneath the clip, which is just a nice little touch. And I definitely like the work around here on the bevel that kind of cuts around the hardware. I'd be curious to see what this knife would actually look like and function like in full titanium. I'm sure that would be a nicely done design. Just because it's fairly small, right? Like it's not small, it's EDC. It's like a really good size for a lot of people's everyday carries. In terms of comparables that I can kind of just literally grab from my case, so we'll grab that Para 2 for size. There we go. And then do we have, where's my Neon? Another 3.5-inch blade from Shiro. So a little bigger, obviously, especially in the design of the handle. You know, flat bottom versus curved bottom. So that's actually a pretty fair comparable right there is the Neon. But just look at, obviously, the bottom, the roll, kind of the cutout, the top, the handle's a little thicker in the back. So you can probably wear it with a glove a little bit better. We'll grab my Kami as well, which is a mid-size, more stellar end of things, which is probably like a perfect size comparison in terms of length, but same kind of blade length. And these are two different leagues of knives, different price points. But I'm just trying to show kind of some size comparison. Probably haven't showed this one, Defiant 7. Pretty cool knife as well. What else? We got a Hoghouse Model T floating around that are kind of in the same conversation of size as well. What else we got here? Got this bad boy. Probably seen a lot of these knives on previous videos. And where's another front flipper here? Let's grab that. The Burger. Every time I pull this knife out, I get a little hungry for some McDonald's. Just because it's a burger. But there you go. It's, you know, an urban, right? So quite a bit smaller, but still a front flipper. And pretty cool knife, actually, that one. Love those knives. I would love to actually get more of them. And then we'll do our large and small Sebenza. Because, you know, just to show the size, it's always good. So let's get that up a little bit. There's your large Sebenza, which actually the camera angle is going to kind of change the look of this because it's angled slightly. But the large is not that much larger. How's that? Right? So there you go. The large, I'd say, blade length is actually pretty close. Overall length a little different, but you're kind of looking at the handle in the back here as you know, pretty similar size-wise in terms of the depth of the handle. Right here, from there to there, pretty similar. But this obviously has a little bit of a change in contouring towards the locking mechanism, but that's a pretty good example right there. Pretty close. Pretty close. And then I'll grab my normal Shiro Monkey Edge Frag, which is in the case today. That's the one I've been carrying quite a bit lately. Really like that knife. There's a size comparison on a Quantum. So we've kind of gone stellar. We've seen the mid-size Kami, because I don't know, sorry, Neon, mid-size Kami, because I don't know where my stellar went, and then a Quantum. I think the stellar might be in my car. trying that out. Yeah, you know, I find I've been carrying a lot more production Shirogoroffs just to try to get, you know, I love the Neon and I love the Quantum that I carry, and I wanted to see what a Stellar would be like, so I ended up carrying it, trying that out, and I tell you, I could carry them all the time. Anyway, back on topic here. This is me going off topic. Classic Bladezilla. This guy's pretty sick. For the price point, Echo Splinter, great value, G10, S35VN in the black, front flipper. If you haven't experienced a front flipper, it gives you that option for a really good price point. You know, the black G10 with the orange, you know, is a good color combo, because if you drop it, if you're out in the grass or something, maybe the orange will pop out and you'll be able to find it, which is cool. You know, I think a knife like this would actually be pretty sick with like some glow-in-the-dark vibes, if they kind of laid that in there. You know, I think that would just be cool. Conversely, great for like a Halloween type pairing, just because of the orange, looks great. Or your pumpkin spice latte, and throw it in the wife's bag and have her pull it out in the ladies, and you know what? She's probably not paying for that Starbucks as a result. Just saying. All jokes aside, great knife. Love the backspacer. Lanyard opportunity. You know, the clip's a little lackluster because it's just basic, but then again, that's across the board on all of the Echo knives that I've seen so far. And then the locking mechanism is pretty basic as well, in that it feels like just kind of a standard liner lock, but no beveling to it. But it is raised ever so slightly from the one side scale to the other, so not too bad, not too shabby overall. Good value, it's milled out on the inside, good price point. You know, experience a front flipper at a good price. That's where I'd put this knife. And, you know, it's going to be reliable. I don't see people buying this to collect it. I see them buying it to experience a front flipper and to use it in their day-to-day. So that's what this knife will be from my perspective, but who knows. All right, guys, that will be it for me. And appreciate you stopping by to check out the CKF Echo Splinter knife with S35VN blade. That's black. And you know, visit the store, bladezilla.ca, where I brought in a bunch of these. I'll throw them in the store probably within 15 minutes after I upload this from my camera and I take some photos. So they should be up pretty quick here. And then, yeah, follow me Instagram, TikTok, etc., where, you know, sometimes you get some sneak peeks on things that are going to be coming into the store pretty quick. All right, guys, have yourself a fantastic rest of the week, and we'll talk soon. Peace.